Hey guys, this is a long overdue Q&A, rather A from me, Q from you guys. Sorry, things have been a little busy lately. I'll explain because I have to kind of answer your questions anyway. Anyway, let's get started. Number 1, do I own a Windows or a Mac? I have a Windows. Number 2, one thing I miss about California besides friends and family, well, I do miss the sights. There's always something to do, something to see, and if I wanted the best of any world, if I wanted to see a mountainous view, I could just look over towards the San Bernardino side and see mountains and how pretty it is. And if I just turn around, I could look over to the beach side and see a nice, beautiful beach sunset. And not to mention the nightlife. Like that one time we ran into celebrities. Yeah, that was awesome. Got that high five from Will Smith. And also the diversity of people. What is the next move when I'm done with the Marines? No, I'm not going to become a marine biologist. It has nothing to do with being in the military whatsoever. Well, I just finished the Marines actually about 2 weeks ago. That's why I was so busy. Right now, I'm going to school, and I have a new place in Florida with my boyfriend here. He's at work. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not working at the moment because I'm going to focus all my energy into school. What's one thing I don't miss about California? Well, everything in California is expensive. It's one of the reasons why I decided to move. Ranging from the gas, the insurance, the rent, and taxes and whatnot, and the unsafe not to mention the unsafe neighborhoods. I mean, there are lots of areas in California, particularly in LA, where it's pretty sketchy. Number 5, what is the hardest thing about life right now? Well, after transitioning, one of the hardest things is figuring out what else you want to do with your life, because I've had such a fixed routine and lifestyle for the past few years I've been in the military that now I have to think for myself. It's like, oh boy, what am I going to do with myself? I just want to become a productive member of society. And figuring out the finances to do so. Number 6, what Republican candidate would I support? Well, right now I can't speak intelligently on that. I haven't really kept up with the news lately. I chime in now and again, but I don't think it's enough to make an informed decision. However, I will support a candidate that cares about our veterans and will do something about the VA healthcare, because I haven't heard very many good things. In my little experience with VA healthcare, it's not very positive. Everything takes too long. Anybody who supports our troops, and giving job preference to legal residents, and making English an official language, not just a national language, meaning that if you're going to get a job, you should have at least, if you're trying to apply for a job, you should have at least a basic level of English speaking skills. Just the basics. That's all. Elementary, kindergarten level is fine. Number 7, what's my name again? You guys already know my name. My name's Adla, but some people do call me Addie nowadays. Where do I see my life taking me within the next year? Well, I hope to be a lot more established. Hopefully I will be on my way to a bachelor's. That might be wishful thinking, but there's always hope. Hopefully getting a good job. Decent job that pays. And maybe even buy a house. But that's all going to depend on if I can figure out the finances to it. What are 3 things or ideas that are most important to me? Number 1, self-acceptance. That is most That is definitely that is definitely the most important thing to me, because if you can't accept yourself, then you'll never know what you want. You'll never know who you are, you'll never know what you want. And you'll always let people try to convince you otherwise. Try to convince you otherwise about who you really are. And which leads me to number 2. That is the key to happiness, is self-acceptance in every aspect of yourself. And to accept the good and the bad. Number 3 is I like the idea of having the presence of friends and loved ones. I like knowing that even if I'm alone in the middle of nowhere, like right now, I'm in Florida, I like knowing that I have someone there. Like my boyfriend is here. And I like knowing that I can still contact my friends if I wanted to see how they're doing, and my family even. So I like being surrounded by friends and loved ones. What is my favorite, number 10, what is my favorite memory out of the 10 years with you guys, Mike and Evan? Wow, probably about the time that we hiked over and under some rocks to get to a beach. I don't even know if that was really a hike path, or did we just go over and under and did some rock climbing stuff. And the time you guys took a picture of me instead of helping me out when I slipped on a rock. Come on now. But that will never change. And hopefully I get to see you guys again. And we can do more stuff like that. Number 11. What is the favorite and least favorite parts about being a Marine? Oh, that is a long list, but I'll narrow it down to 3. Number 1. In the Marines, or military in general, there's too much moving around, you know. When I say that, I mean there are times when you can get deployed. There are times when once you're done with your unit, you get moved to another unit, which is pretty much like getting transferred around, if that's a good way to demilitarize the jargon, the military jargon. It feels unstable with all the moving around so much. You're not in one place, and you hardly get to see your family or friends because you're busy. You work late, and when I mean late, I mean impossibly late. And sometimes you get sent to a different country for long periods of time. Just too much moving around. I want to stay in one place. Number 2, one of my least favorite things is a constant scrutiny, even with personal matters. If your uniform isn't ironed correctly, you're wrong, and you'll get yelled at for it. If your room isn't clean, and I mean white glove clean, like if I take a white glove and just finger around your room, if I find dust, you'll get yelled at. That kind of thing, that kind of scrutiny, massive scrutiny. It even bleeds into personal matters. The way you do your hair. Constant scrutiny, I couldn't stand it. And my least favorite thing, above all, is the alpha male mentality. That probably goes without saying, but in the Marines you're being asked to perform your best at everything. And if you're not, you'll get yelled at. But one of the main things that they stress upon is your physical fitness. And if you're not as fast as the fastest guy there, then you're a piece of crap. I'm sorry, I'm not the fastest runner in the world. I try. I really do. I try to work out. But it's that alpha male mentality. I couldn't stand. However, I do have my top 3 favorite things about the military, or about the Marines. I did do a lot of traveling, and it was so much fun. I got to see Korea a couple times. I went to Thailand, and I made some friends. And You know, they were all really nice people. And I was in Japan for about 3 years. That was a lot of fun. My Japanese was mediocre, but at least I was able to communicate my way, and even got free stuff for being able to communicate with locals because they were so happy I knew some Japanese. So that was a lot of fun. Number 2, oh, I already said number 2. That I met, I also have friends all over the U.S. That's one thing I wanted to mention. Ranging from, you know, the times that I was in boot camp, down to combat training, down to all these training events, and being sent all over the place. I meet people from all over the United States and all over the world. But, you know, I can honestly say I have friends all around the U.S., up and down the East Coast, probably even up and down the West Coast, in Texas, and everywhere. Just everywhere. And another favorite thing that I do have, my third favorite thing, is that the Marines taught me to grow up. You know, looking back, I guess I realized I was a bit of a whiny teenager and whatnot, but it taught me to grow up. It taught me to be ready for an emergency situation at any moment's notice. It taught me to think fast, and I liked it because now I'm a little bit more mentally prepared for anything that comes my way. It doesn't surprise me if something happens. Mentally, I'm ready for it. Mentally, I'm not going to panic. Number 12. What is my favorite duty station? Well, honestly, I've only had 2 duty stations, Virginia or Japan. And honestly, Japan. Japan, specifically I was in Okinawa because of the sense of camaraderie. And the sushi and the food. When I say the sense of camaraderie, I mean everyone else in Japan, we're all kind of just stuck there. So we're forced to come together and hang out and have fun and just kind of make fun of I guess, the misery that we're having. It's a funny kind of misery. It's the misery where, you know, we all miss our friends and our family back home, so we just kind of come together and talk about it, and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. We get into a lot of silly situations. I miss that. I do miss that a lot. And, did I say food? Yeah, I need to say it again because I need to emphasize how amazing the food was. I will never find sushi as good as I did in Japan. And every time I say that to someone, they'll always roll their eyes and go, well, duh, it's Japan. Do I ever intend to visit San Francisco? Well, yeah, sometime. I guess when I find some time I can find away from school and to go back home and maybe even take a road trip there. And as far as our crazy road trip, seemed like we were both, I don't know, busy and on different schedules. Hopefully we can. Hopefully. Okay, Evan, question for you. What made you so interested in becoming a vegan or a vegetarian? And for Mark, what is the hardest thing to get used to when you first got to San Francisco? And what's it like now that you're out of the closet? Is it, how's your family taking it, I guess? Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Wish there was a bit more excitement to it. Bye, guys.